This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, all, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss about different things in Jenkins, which are like a global tool configuration and a global security. Okay, we'll cover those two, and we'll try to pick the code from GitHub to Jenkins today. So how to pick the code? So we'll see that. Yeah. Fine. So Manu, why we are drawing this again and again? This is flow is very important. Okay. So this flow is very important throughout DevOps. Okay. Even though once we complete all the DevOps tools, we'll have projects. Okay. So by the time also, it's the same flow we follow. Fine. Yeah. Can you see my screen, everyone? Everyone able to see my screen? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Let us quickly go and start our server. Console already opened here. A public IP. Go to browser, paste here. 8080 is the port number. Fine. Yeah. So let us go to click on Manage Jenkins. So next, Next one is we have global tool configuration. What is this? Okay, so we'll try to understand. So click on this, open this. So in global tool configuration, all the packages, whatever packages you require. Okay, for example, so I want to install Java inside of the global tool configuration. Okay, so I can install here. Okay, how can we install? Instead of installing in console, we can install Java in global tool configuration also. So click add Java JDK. Okay, so this is a Java version. So different versions are available here. Click on this, see here. So these are the JDK 8, JDK 9. So still we have JDK 7. Okay, different versions are there. So you can install Java in global tool configuration also. Okay, so you can add this, click on add this, you can give the version name here and install automatically. You can check this and apply save. But when you want to install Java, you require Oracle account. So without Oracle account, it will not installed. It will not be installed. Okay. So Java we can install here, JDK, and also we can install Git also here. Okay. So Git also we can install. So you can add path here, add Git. Okay. And you can select Git version and you can install automatically. Okay. So here, if you are not using, if you have not installed Git, okay, inside of the global tool configuration. So by the time what we will do, so we need to provide executable path. This is the executable. For example, if you are not installing Git inside of the Jenkins server, so even the console also we are not installing Git, right? Git is different tool. So by the time we need to give executable path. This is the executable path. So if you don't provide this path, what will happen? I'll show you. Okay. Next one. So here grade, Ant, Maven, whatever tool you want to install, you can install inside of the Jenkins only. So if you are not installing inside of the global tool configuration, otherwise what we will do? Normally we give executable path. Then only it will understand. So if you don't provide this executable path, Jenkins will not understand Git. Okay, so what are the errors? What are the errors we get once we remove this? I'll show you. So once discuss about Maven. Okay, so now we have Maven. So this is the Maven version. I want to remove this existing one. Fine. So now Maven is not installed here. Instead of this global tool configuration, there is no Maven. Okay, so I want to add one Maven version here. So now, one second here, I'll show you one small change. Apply save here. Go to dashboard. There is a job here, test job. Okay, go to job configure. Okay, source code management is Git is available. Yesterday we removed that subversion, right? Subversion is gone from here. Now, so when you configure any job, so you need to select some Maven version. So Maven is required, right? Every time, every job Maven is required. Without Maven, we can't run the job. Okay, so Maven is required to build the code, right? So go down here. So click on build, add build step. So here what it is showing. So invoke top level Maven targets. Okay, click on this. See here, nothing is there. Maven is not available here. Okay, so there is no Maven. So once we install Maven, what will happen? I'll show you. Okay, so here Maven is not there. Go to dashboard, manage Jenkins, global tool configuration, add Maven. Click on add Maven. So this is Maven latest version 3.8.1. Okay, so now I want to install this version in global tool configuration in Jenkins. Okay, so here Maven 3.8.1 is the version. Now I can check this install automatically. By default, it check is available. Apply, save. So once we apply save, now if you go and check in job configure, so here you can drop down icon is there. Click on this configure. Now you can go down here, build, go to build. So click on invoke top level Maven targets. So what it is saying, Maven version. Default it is showing default. If you click on this, it will show you Maven version. So this is the Maven which we installed. Okay. So one version I installed. Okay. I want to install one more version. So in Jenkins we'll maintain different versions. So multiple versions we maintain. Why we maintain multiple versions? Why we require? What is the use of that? I'll explain that. Okay, we can install one more version. Go to dashboard. Currently we have only one version. So I want to install one more version. Go to global tool configuration. Go down here. Add Maven installations. Maven installations. Only one installation is there. I want to add one more version. Add Maven. So 3.8.1 already there. So now I want to install 3.6.0, different version. 3.6.0. Install automatically. You can select this and apply, save. Now install second version also. Right now you can go to job configure, dashboard. Click on job configure. Go down here in build tab, add build step. Invoke top level Maven targets. Click on this. So open this Maven version. See here we have two versions. So why we require this multiple version? In Jenkins normally we use multiple Maven versions. So why we require this? Because for example, let us take GE project, General Electricals GE project. Okay, so in GE project what will happen? GE is having multiple departments: GE sales, GE marketing, GE HR, GE finance. Okay, so many departments are there. So many portfolios. We can say portfolios. Okay, so each portfolio there, for example, GE sales is there. Okay, in GE project normally in GE sales will be there. GE marketing, GE HR, okay, GE accounts, GE finance. So many departments are there in GE, right? So in this, for example, so all these portfolios using same Jenkins server, for example, okay. So when they push this, when for example GE sales, they are using 3.6.0 Maven version, okay, and GE HR they are using 3.5.0 Maven, and also GE account they are using 3.8.1 latest version. So GE finance they are using 3.6.5, some different version Maven, right? So some these portfolios they are using different versions. So now if you configure only latest version in Jenkins server, the job which you configured, if the job is only this latest version, what will happen? When they push the code, when G sales team push the code into GitHub, by the time Jenkins will pick that code, right? So if the version is different from Jenkins server to this G sales portfolio, the job will be failed. So that is why according to their Maven version, we need to add Maven versions in Jenkins. Okay, here we can add multiple versions. While configuring job, we can select the appropriate version as per the project team. Then only the job will be success. Otherwise, so always jobs will be failed. Okay, so here in Jenkins we'll use multiple Maven versions. So that version, while configuring job, we can select that version and we can configure the job. Okay, fine. This is important. So again, we'll discuss in Maven also this concept. Fine. Next one is executable path we are discussing, right? So for example, if you are not installing Git on your Jenkins server, so we need to provide executable path here. Okay, so otherwise Jenkins will not understand Git. Okay, so if you don't provide this executable path, what will be happen? So I'll show you. Okay, now we can create one more job here. Go to dashboard, click on new item. Here I create one more job, job 1. Okay, select freestyle project, click on OK. Job 1 is created. Now it is asking you to set your configuration. Okay, yeah, go to source code management, select source code management. So we need to provide repository URL here. Some repository URL we need to provide here. Okay, so now what I will do, go to GitHub. Okay, so in GitHub we'll have some sample projects. So here Hello World project is there. This is one project, and also one project is which is Game of Life. We can use for this. Yeah, we can use this Game of Life for our test labs. So this is Maven code developed in Java. So this is the person who developed this, Wakalayo. Wakalayo is the person who developed this. Okay, this is purely Java code. So in Maven, he built the code. Okay. Yeah. So this repository we can copy and we can use for our test lab. So this is proper structured code. So structured, what is structured code? What is unstructured code? I'll explain that. So this is structured code. Just copy this URL, GitHub URL. Go to Jenkins, you can paste here. Now it is copied here. There is no errors. What we are doing here in Jenkins, we are adding GitHub URL, GitHub repository URL here to pick the code from GitHub to Jenkins, right? So when I gave this URL here, it is not giving any error because we have executable path in global tool configuration. Git executable path we have in global tool configuration. Okay, I want to remove that. What will happen? We'll see that. Leave this page. Go to global tool manage Jenkins. Global tool configuration. See here we have Git executable available here. So I want to remove this. Okay, apply, save. Now I want to pick the code from GitHub to Jenkins using Game of Life repository. Okay, so job 1 is there. Go to job 1 configure. Now go to source code management, select Git here, repository URL. You can copy this Game of life, URL, copy this, go to repository URL, you can paste here. Now, see here, what it is saying, fail to connect repository, error performing git command, ls remote, okay, this is the error. So when we remove executable path in global tool configuration, it will not allow you to add the repository URL. So this is very, very important. So when we work on this jobs configuration, so executable paths are very important. So we need to provide executable path. Okay. So let us go back to job configure. Global configuration. So executable path is removed right here. So we can add that. Just a git, that's it. Nothing is there. Executable path is git only. We can give that, apply, save. Okay. Now then go to job configure. Source code management git repository URL, you can copy from here and paste here. So once we give the executable path, it will take without any issues. It will take. See here, there is no errors because Jenkins is understanding, right? So this is how, while configuring jobs, executable paths are very important. That we need to check from global tool configuration, right? Next one is global tool configuration. Basically, so we can install, configure some tools in, some packages in global tool configuration. Whatever package you want, you can install. Okay. So Maven, normally Maven we install in global tool configuration only. In Jenkins only we install Maven. So in real projects also we don't use separate server for Maven, because Maven duty is to generate artifacts and it will create some folder structure. That's it. So that is why we don't require any additional server for Maven. Maven will be integrated with Jenkins only. Right? In our test lab also, we install Maven in Jenkins only, and we use that Maven. Fine. Next one. Configure global security. What it is, we'll go through this. Yeah. So this is all about user security. So database users, local users, or LDAP users. So all this will be maintained by global security only. Okay. So here, so every organization will have some LDAP users, right? LDAP means what it is. So when we join into the project, we'll get one user, right? That is LDAP user. So backend there will be LDAP server. They will maintain LDAP server. Exchange team, they will maintain LDAP server. So in that, users will be created. So LDAP users can access all the emails, tools, all the internal applications. Using LDAP user, we can access all the applications. So SSO will be configured. What is SSO? Single sign-on. Single sign-on will be configured. Using our username, we can access all the tools, all the applications, all the consoles, right? So that is normally big organizations, they use LDAP servers. LDAP servers are a bit costlier, so licensing cost is very high. But whereas startup companies, they don't use LDAP servers. They use own database users. See here. So this is the option. Jenkins own user database. Okay. So small companies, they use only local database users. Okay. They create database users here. So normally big organization, they use LDAP servers, LDAP. Server name we need to provide here, and we can add users from add server, and we can add users. Where we add that users, I'll show you. Okay. So these are the two different things. Okay. So local database users, LDAP users. So Unix users also you can add here, and also delegate to servlet container. So containers, from containers also you can delegate here. Okay. Security realm. So this is all about user security, right? Next one is authorization. Okay, I'll show you this where we can add users. I'll show you. So authorization is, so here we have two plugins, metrics based security, project based metrics authorization strategy. What it is? So normally when you want to implement any security, so we can use this either first one or second one. We can use these plugins to implement the security. So if you click on first one, see here what it is showing. It is showing some metrics, right? So for example, see here, from here we can add the users. So we can add the users from here, add user or group. Even groups also we can add from here. Okay. So once we add the user will be added here. So you can check that user, you can select that user, and we can provide some access here. See here, here we have job. So job create authorized users. So can select user here, and you can select create job permission, configure job, cancel job, build job, delete job, discover job, move job, read job. Okay, different things. Okay, we can provide all these accesses. And also agent access. Agent means we'll discuss in next session. Master agent model when we discuss about master agent. So agent access. So agent create, agent connect, agent configure, agent build, okay, agent delete, agent disconnect. So if you want to provide access, you can provide all these accesses to the particular user, which we added here. Okay, and also SCM, source code management access, you can provide access, and also view access, and also run access. Okay, credentials overall. So whatever access you want to provide, you can provide to users based on the requirement, based on the user experience and role, his role. If the person is a fresher, we can provide some job monitorings only. We don't provide agent access. If the person is fresher or 2 years experience guy, normally what we will do, even though we don't provide job configure, okay, so just we provide monitoring. So monitoring is not available here. So in enterprise level, we'll see that just job monitoring. While running the jobs, he can monitor, that's it. Okay, so if the person is having experience, some experience, we can give access like create job access, configure job, cancel job, and delete job. These 4 options we select. So if the person is expert, okay, so we can give full access on jobs. Whatever accesses we have, build everything, we can provide all the access on jobs. And also agent access. If the person is expert, we can provide agent access also. Agent access, credentials, SCM, all these things we can provide to senior guys. Okay, so based on the role experience, we can give access to the users. Okay. So this is a matrix based security, and we have one more plugin which is project based matrix authorization strategy. So both are same. I'll show you this one also. Click on this. So now this is project based matrix authorization strategy. So in this also we have same roles available. We can add user, you can go to job, and job, create option, create, configure, cancel, build, and delete. Whatever permissions you want to give, you can give. So this both plugins are same. Either first one or second one, you can select and you can provide access to the users. Okay, agent access. So master agent model, when we discuss that, I'll show you. And the credentials, overall, view, lockable resources. Okay, so whatever you want to add, you can give permissions from this plugins. Okay, so from here we provide the permissions, and based on this permissions authorization, okay, you can perform the activities. So if you select only discover, okay, only can discover the jobs, that's it. Okay, if you provide only read access, only can read, that's it. You will not have any permissions, only can read the jobs, that's it. If you provide only build, just you can build, read and build, that's it. Okay, based on his role experience, we can provide this access. Once we get approval emails, based on that, we can provide this access. Okay, fine. So these are global tool configuration and security, global security. Okay, and the next one is manage nodes and clouds. We'll discuss tomorrow when we create agent missions. Okay, and also manage credentials. This we'll discuss in Apache Tomcat. While working on Apache Tomcat, I'll show you this. And configure credential providers. This is also same. We can discuss later. And manage users. So from here you can create users. I'll show you. This also we can, day after tomorrow we'll work on this. Manage users. Okay, status information, logs. Okay, load statistics, and about Jenkins system information. So we can check from here. So this is about Jenkins server logs, performance. Okay, and system information, everything we can check from here. So for example, if you check logs, system logs, so the thing is available here. Okay, so all the logs will be generated here. So for example, in Windows Server or Windows laptop, so if you face any issues, normally where we get the logs, some logs will be generated, right? Where we get that logs? In Windows system. So we have some event viewer, right? Event viewer. From there we can get all the logs, right? So where we get that, I'll show you. So which is important? Logs are important to troubleshoot any issues. For example, right click on my computer, manage, click on manage. Okay. See here. So all these logs are available. Custom use, okay, Windows logs, application logs, security logs, setup logs, whatever. So for example, I want to check system logs. See here, these are the logs, right? These are the logs, system logs. So based on this, you can troubleshoot. If an issue happen with the laptop, okay, first normally what we will do, we'll check logs. Even the server side also. So whenever any issue happen, first we'll go through logs only. Okay, so based on the logs, if anything goes wrong here, anything happened, okay, based on that we can troubleshoot the issue, right? The same way for Jenkins server also we have logs here. Jenkins also, so we have system logs, automate Jenkins, yeah, system logs available here. So if anything goes wrong with the Jenkins, we can go through system logs and we can check from here. So about Jenkins, so if you want to check some details about Jenkins, you can check from here. Jenkins var something, you can name and a Maven ID license, some details it will show you. Okay, and system information. Click on this. You will get all the information about your system, Jenkins. So which version Java installed? Okay, so all these things available here. What are the paths? Fine. Load statistics, system information, all these things. Fine. Next one is troubleshooting. Manage old data. Okay. For example, if you have any, any data you pick from GitHub to Jenkins. Okay. If you have any old data, so you can manage from here. For example, we'll pick that code. I'll show you. So if any old data is there, that will be saved in this tab. Okay. Next one is Jenkins CLI not required basically. So this is for only troubleshooting. So this will be while any issue happened with the Jenkins, by the time we connect CLI. So normally DevOps engineers, we don't use CLI. So if any issue happened, we'll raise a case with vendor, Jenkins vendor. They will connect through CLI. By the time they will check. Okay. Reload configuration from disk. So if any configurations are missed, for example, normally when we purchase laptop, okay, if the operating system is corrupted, so we can reload using one tab right here. So one key, they provide one key. If you click on this key, what will happen? Operating system will be reloaded. The same way in Jenkins also, reload configuration from disk. One option is there. Okay, so if you click on this, it will reload all these things, all the packages, whatever system files you missed, all these things will be saved. Okay, script console also not required. So next one is prepare for shutdown. So normally in real projects, we don't reboot Jenkins server frequently. Moreover, in business servers, we should not reboot Jenkins server. Okay, from morning 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. we should not reboot Jenkins production servers. So if you want to reboot Jenkins server, because of sometimes what we will do, we'll install some plugins, we remove some plugins. By the time, so if you want to reboot the server, production server, so we need to raise a change request. So we need to get approval from the change manager, and we can schedule the change to weekends only. Okay, normally in weekends only we perform any reboot activities or any maintenance activities for Jenkins. In business hours, we should not reboot the Jenkins servers. Okay, so normal our test servers we can reboot anytime, but in real projects, real time, so we should not reboot these servers in business hours. If you reboot the servers, what will happen? Some jobs will be failed. Okay, no one can access Jenkins. By the time, some escalations will be happening. That is why we need to be very careful while working on production servers. Okay, fine. So prepare for shutdown means we can prepare for shutdown and we can schedule that and we can reboot. Fine. So these are the things available. Now what we will do? So we can pick the code from GitHub to Jenkins today. Okay. How to pick the code? So how to where the code will be saved in Jenkins? Okay. So we'll try to understand. Yeah, our code is here, for example. In GitHub, our code is there. So I want to pick this code, for which what we need to do? So we can prepare some job. So manually we don't pick any code. Through jobs only, we always pick the code. Okay. So here our code is there. So now what I will do, I trigger this job. So when I trigger this job, this code will be picked by Jenkins. So once it is picked, so here one workspace will be created in Jenkins. Once the code is picked, here one workspace will be created. So in this workspace, this code will be saved. Okay, that activity you can perform now. Go to dashboard. We have already one job created, right? Job 1. Open this. Go to job configure. Click on job configure. Source code management here. Git is there. GitHub URL we need to provide. GitHub repository URL. Go to, yeah, this is game of life code, right? So we can use this game of life code. So this is a real game code. This is structured code. We can use this for our test lab. Copy this URL, paste here. Next one is credentials. So why we require credentials? Okay, normally in real projects, we don't use public repositories. We don't use public GitHub repositories. Okay, so in our test lab, we are using public repository, which is free of cost. Normally in real projects, we don't use public repositories. We always use private repositories. For private repositories, some credentials will be there. We need to add some credentials here. So public repository not required credentials. Okay, so we always use in real time private repositories. By the time we need to add credentials here, and also branches to build. See here, by default it is showing master branch. So if you have any other branches you can view, but by default it will show you master branch only. Go down here. Next one is, so we need to select Maven version, right? So go to build, invoke top level, Maven targets. Go down here. You can select Maven version. This is the latest version, Maven version. Goals. So these goals are important. So when we work on Maven, I'll explain the goals. So goals are like, for example, here we have some goals. I put that goals. Clean, install, package. So means I enter 3 goals here. So clean means if any previous builds are there with the same name, that will be cleaned up. Install means, so the package will be added. Install means not installation. Okay, normally install means, so Git installation, Ansible installation, like that we'll think about. But it is not like that. In Maven language, install means it will prepare some package and it will push the package. Okay, fine. Apply, save. We have configured this job, right? So now I want to build this job. Build means run this job. Okay, so if you want to run this job, click on this navigation menu, drop down menu, build now. Click on build now. When you click on this build now, the job will be started. Job will run. Build now. See here. Now it is building. It is picking the code from GitHub to Jenkins. Fine. So this job is success. So it is success, right? So this game of life code is moved from GitHub to Jenkins. So it will show you some path here. See here. /var/lib Jenkins workspace job 1 game of life is the code. So normally in console also you can check. So when you log in your third-party session, Jenkins server, so the code will be available here. /var/lib/Jenkins. Under this, one workspace is created. So inside of this workspace, we have the code. Even graphical way also, we can check where this code is available. Okay. So I'll show you where the code is available now. So the job is success. The code is moved to Jenkins. Go to dashboard. Open this job. See here. So this is workspace. One workspace is created. If you open this workspace, you will get a game of life code. So this is the game of life code, right? So our code is pulled from GitHub to Jenkins. Now the code is available in Jenkins, right? This is the code. Any questions up to here, anyone?
Sir, do we also need to create multiple versions of Git or Java as in the case of Maven, or is it only required for Maven?
Java is not required. Multiple versions Java is not required. So in real projects, normally Maven will maintain different versions. Java is one version is enough.
Hello.
Yeah.
Only for Maven we create multiple.
Yeah.
Install.
Yeah. Maven. Yeah. Because while configuring jobs, so we need to select appropriate version based on the project team version. We can select that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir,
Go ahead.
we
Yeah.
have different environments like development environment, testing environment, staging environment. So we need to maintain the different jobs here, correct?
Yeah. Based on the environment, based on the requirement, we can create different jobs. So we'll create multiple jobs in real projects.
And I have one more question. Suppose I want to merge the development code into testing environment. So how can I do it?
Yeah,
I
we'll
want
see
to
that.
merge the code. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see that. We'll see that going forward. We'll see that. And tomorrow we'll create pipeline jobs. Pipeline jobs, dependent jobs means one job will depend other job. If the, for example, pipeline jobs or dependent jobs means normally what will happen? For example, we have 4 jobs. Job 1, job 2, job 3, and job 4. We have 4 jobs. So when we configure these 4 jobs in pipeline, what will happen? So job 2 will depend on job 1. This will depend on job 1. Means when the job 1 is success, then only job 2 will run. Next one is job 3 will depend on job 2. When the job 2 is success, then only job 3 will run. And the job 4 will depend on job 3. When the job 3 is success, then only job 4 will run. So why we require these pipeline jobs, where we use this? For example, so in sprints, we are using, in sprints, normally what we will do? So the code will be developed pieces wise, right? So sprint 1 having some code. So sprint 1 code we can configure as a job 1. Once it is job 1 is success, means once the sprint 1 code is picked from GitHub to Jenkins, then only job 2 will run, means sprint 2. Like that, we configure these jobs. Tomorrow we'll see that. We'll create lab tomorrow. These pipeline jobs, how these jobs will work, dependent jobs. So we'll see tomorrow.
Hello. Sir, I have one more question. Could you please provide some sample code to practice this?
Yeah, you can use this sample code. This is code, right? In GitHub. This is the sample code, game of life. Vocalayo, game of life. You can search here, you will get that. This is sample code. I'll ping in this group. You can take this and you can search in GitHub.
Okay. Suppose I want to run the job at the specific time. Suppose requirement is
Schedules.
I want to
Schedules,
schedule.
right? Yeah, schedule also will work on that. Don't worry, I'll show you where we schedule that job. I'll show you that. Okay. So still we have sessions, 3 sessions we have. In that,
So we have one while job executing, we got the errors and we need to search the logs from where we got the job logs.
documents I'll provide you. Git documents, Jenkins documents, I'll provide you. Okay, some documentation I'll give you. So in real projects also, everything will be documented while working on jobs or monitoring or any integrations like plugin installations, everything will be documented. So we need to follow the documentation in real time. We should not do our own. Okay, I'll provide that documentation. Fine. Yeah.
So
You can
this code
practice.
will,
Yeah. Go ahead.
this code, sir, this code will move to Ansible, sir. Like,
No. Basically, this code, why we pick this code? So we can, yeah, in the flow we are following.
yeah.
So this code will be moved to application server to deploy the code. Okay. So till now we are in Jenkins. So
Okay.
after that we'll start Maven. Maven will build as a WAR file, jar file. That will be pushed to Nexus. Also, that will be pushed to Tomcat server.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What if we delete the server by mistake during the project? It might be storage. Yeah, we'll have backup, right? So we'll have backup mechanism. So if you delete this server in real projects, it's very difficult to handle. You will get so many escalations. Okay. Should not delete in production. In our test labs, you can delete and you can recreate again. But in real projects, we'll have backup mechanism. But before that, before retrieving that, you will get some emails, right? We should not do that in real projects. Fine. So we stop here for today. So tomorrow we'll work on pipeline jobs and also we'll work on some different activities. Fine. Yeah. If you have any questions, you can post in the group while picking this code from GitHub to Jenkins. Right? Fine. So we stop here for today. Thank you all.